What's the opposite of a pickup video? A get rid video? Hello and welcome back to Retro Dregs, the bottom of the gaming barrel, coming to you from the bowels of Castle Maddock, where today I have selected another 10 games from my collection which I am parting ways with. Yes, it's still very much a work in progress, getting shot of a lot of the games that I don't play, have no interest in, have accumulated over the years for reasons only to fill my shelves. But I've got another 10. They're ready to go, and I thought I'd share these 10 games with you. So rather than it be a pickup video, it's the opposite of a pickup video. I'm going to go through these games, talk about them, and why I've decided to get shot. It's a selection of PlayStation 1 and 2 games that I've selected, and one Super Nintendo game, which is a classic. I'm sure you will agree, and you'll say, James, why are you getting rid of that? But I'll let you be the judge. So let's get into it. I'm going to make a start with the PlayStation 2 games, and the first one on the list to go is The Golden Compass. Why have I bought this? It must have been 10 pence, 50p, I don't know, maybe the charity gave it to me, I can't remember, but either way, I have zero interest in playing this game. I have not read the books. They are very popular and I'm sure have their fans, but I tried watching this film and I think I turned it off within 10 minutes because the opening crawl was just information overload about it being a parallel world or something, and there are animals, but then there are animals that can talk to you and they're your soul, but I don't know. It's not for me, and why I got the game is beyond me. Do let me know in the comments if you have read the books or seen the series, and tell me that I'm wrong, but I don't know. Next up is 13. Now this is a first-person shooter, and it's got a really interesting cel-shaded art style, and this is a game that has been in the collection since like the mid-2000s, and I think I got to like level 2 and it was some kind of stealth mission in a hotel or something, but I couldn't do it and I never went back to it. I think it did get a film, or at least a series made out of it with Stephen Dorff, so that's interesting. Next up, a Marvel game, and if you're anything like me, maybe you are feeling the comic book fatigue at the moment, but this is the one that started it all off, I guess. It's Iron Man on the PlayStation 2. Not a game I have tried or played. It's by Sega. I think I bought this more out of curiosity to try it out, but not a game I played at the time. The screenshots on the back of the box are suspiciously modern looking by today's standards, so I'm sure it's great, but 3 more PlayStation 2 games to go, and this is one I've been on the fence about getting shot of, but it's realistically not a game I am going to put the hours in, sit down and play. It's a game I think I missed it at the time, and I'm not going to jump into it now, I think. And that is Maximo, 3D adventure game. I think it's got like hack and slash elements. I really like the look of the art style. On paper, this is absolutely my cup of coffee, but just not one I'm going to play. I've got the PS2 set up, but I'm very much at that stage at the moment where I don't have a lot of time for gaming or investing in something that's going to take me a while to get through. So I'd rather see this with someone who is going to give it the time and going to enjoy it, rather than it just be sat on my shelf. Up next, a 60s inspired first person shooter, and that is No One Lives Forever. Now, I did try this out on the PlayStation 2, and it is quite a terrible port of the PC game, which I did play back in university, so that is the very beginning of the 2000s that I played this. So going back to this and trying it with the controller and how they've mapped it and how it controls, it just isn't great. It's not the same game either. It's a bit more censored I think, than the game I experienced. And if I was to ever try out No One Lives Forever again, it wouldn't be on this platform, so that can go. And lastly on the PlayStation 2 is Super Monkey Ball Deluxe. Now, I played Monkey Ball on the GameCube in the early 2000s, and I think I picked this version up with the intention of revisiting it and trying it out, and you know, the Deluxe I think sold me. But does it have much more than the GameCube version, which I do already own? So, you know, like my previous video, this is a game I've bought on multiple systems, and I don't really need to be doing that if there is a preferred version. If I'm going to let nostalgia dictate which one I keep, it's going to be the GameCube version, because that's the one my housemate had. I mean, this does say it has 12 new party games for up to 4 players, including Monkey Bowling, Monkey Football, and I think Alan Partridge should sue, Monkey Tennis. I'm not sure if it's worth a great deal, but again, I'd rather this go to someone who is going to give it the time, going to enjoy it, and going to put it on the shelf and enjoy it for what it is. Although I am intrigued by Monkey Tennis. Didn't work as a show, but maybe it works as a game. Okay, Super Nintendo time, and I don't know, I think some of you are going to be absolutely shocked that I'm getting shot at this one, but it's Super Troll Island, or Super Troll Islands. Why did I get this? Probably it was a couple of quid and I thought I could just add another Super Nintendo game to the collection. It's cart only, I can't imagine it's worth much. Again, another one I think I added to add to the collection rather than play it, because I really disliked the Trolls. Trolls were like massive in the 90s when I was in secondary school. Ugh, like the Super Nintendo game is going to win me over. No, it can go. I'll pay someone to take that one. So last on this very brief list of games to go are 3 PlayStation 1 games, 2 of which are worth surprisingly a bit of money. So we'll look at those 2 last and like how much they've spiked in price, certainly since I picked them up. But the first one to go is Street Racer. So this is one I picked up, again, more out of curiosity, because I had the Super Nintendo version of this growing up. So I bought this really to try out how it compares. And now that that curiosity has been quenched, it's one that I can pass on. I would rather just revisit the SNES version if I was going to go for that nostalgic hit. I don't have a lot of PlayStation 1 games, and certainly not a lot of PlayStation 1 racing games. Outside of Ridge Racer, the Wipeout games, and the Destruction Derby games, this isn't one I'm going to revisit again, so can be moved on. Again, it didn't cost me much to pick up, so I'm not going to get much back for it, but again, I'm not really interested in shelf filler anymore, so Street Racer can be moved on. Okay, last 2 games, and as mentioned, these 2 are a bit more valuable than I thought. So the first one is Metal Slug X. This is one I've had in my collection for over 20 years, and I have played it once. I played it one time in university with my friend Wisey, and we got through the entire game, and it was good fun. It was a good fun 2-player experience. But having played the other Metal Slug games and having the anthology, is this one I need on the shelf anymore? It's got terrific box art. I love the art style, but I remember this one being censored. Now, I'm not a gore fiend by any stretch, but this came out at a time where games had ratings and were pitched at certain age demographics, so why the blood was swapped out for, you know, what looks like milk, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but it does take something away from the carnage in a game like this where you are taking on armies and aliens. So as mentioned, this has been played once and it's just been sat in storage or on my shelves ever since. So the disc is in like amazing condition, it, you know, other than a bit of dust. But what surprised me was when I looked it up about moving this game on was how much this game is currently going for. A mint copy will set you back 80, and a with manual copy will cost you £75. If I trade it in, it will give me £51 in vouchers, which I have until the year 3025 to spend when the whole world is underwater. But of course not much has changed, we're just underwater, right, Busted? Metal Slug X, very much a nostalgic game for me. I have that memory of playing it once, but that's it. That is the only time I have played Metal Slug X, and as mentioned, I have the anthology somewhere, maybe digitally. So if I wanted to really go back to Metal Slug X, I just play the anthology. And then the last game I'm parting ways with is Street Fighter the movie, the game. Yeah. This is, of course, the Street Fighter game based on the 1994 Van Damme movie, where they digitized the actors or lookalikes very much in the style of the Mortal Kombat games. Not the same as the arcade version at all. I think the arcade version looks better but plays worse, and this one then was produced by Capcom using the sprites from the arcade game, but they're really like washed out, like the saturation's really bad on them. So it does play like Street Fighter 2. The moves are all very, similar in execution. What is interesting about this game is that it has a branching narrative. So between each stage, Kylie appears and gives you a choice of mission or street to fight in, I guess. But as far as I'm aware, it doesn't really add anything. It just dictates who you fight on the road to M. Bison. So this is one that, again, I've played it out of curiosity, and I did try it out a couple of weeks ago, and I got to M. Bison, and in the background of his stage there's like flickering CRT TVs. It keeps like flashing static, and I've never had photosensitivity issues before around a game, but that level just started making, I didn't want to like look at the screen because it was flashing so weirdly. Oh goodness, no, not one I'm going to play again. I do have a small collection of Street Fighter bits and bobs, but they're mainly around Street Fighter 2 rather than Street Fighter as a collective whole. So another reason why I don't think I'm ever going to revisit Street Fighter the movie, the game. So this isn't in mint condition by any stretch, but it's in relatively good condition for the age, and CEX will give me £77 on a voucher for it and sell it for £105. So again, not one I think I'm going to be able to sell for more than £100 by any stretch. But once I do part ways with this, I have made my money back on it. I'll list this in a couple of the private groups that I am part of, because I'm sure there are fighting game or Street Fighter collectors out there who maybe don't want to part with £105 for this, and I can help them out with that. The film is actually a lot more fun than a lot of people would probably admit, but it's certainly more fun than playing the game. So Street Fighter the movie, the game. So there we go, another 10 games from my collection that are off to pastures new. Are there any games here that you would choose not to sell or keep for yourselves, or maybe like me you'd get rid of all of them? Whatever your feelings on any of these games, please let me know in a comment below, and if you're not already a subscriber, please consider doing so. In the coming weeks I'm going to be having a big sort out in here and rearranging the room. It is just becoming unbearable. I cannot stand having to tiptoe and tread carefully in my own office. So stick around on the channel if you want to see what I do to this room, how I rearrange it, and how I make more tough, and in some of these cases not so tough, decisions in what games stay and what games go. Until the next video, thanks for watching.